This week, Chelsea's Ranch Revival continues as we prepare to tackle the living room. You've been in there long enough.
Yeah, well, sit down and buckle up. I've been working on the list. It's pretty intense.
I've been helping homeowners improve their home for a lot of years. They think it's intimidating, but it actually can be a lot of fun.
And we're here to help. Dad's the expert, but I've learned a few things along the way.
Practical, realistic home improvement information is what today's homeowner is all about.
Ready? Go.
I'd say maybe like 2 more weeks it'll be ready.
For months and months, we've been working to renovate Chelsea and Brandon's mid-century home, one project at a time.
Brandon can have this bathroom.
Well, we've been in the house about a year. It's just, I don't know, it's just a little frustrating that not everything is done. I thought it would only take, I don't know, 6 to 9 months, but that's obviously not true.
Sorry.
And this week's project is the living room.
When we first moved into the living room, there wasn't anything that was like offensive, so I didn't think there was anything cosmetic to fix right away. But now the function of the room has changed a little bit, and that's something that we're wanting to address.
We want to figure out the best space to put more kids' toys.
We encourage them to do a lot of puzzles and building with blocks and
Little board games and things.
yeah, they
that
love
fit their
board
level.
games. Makes me glad that we haven't done anything yet because the way we use the room has changed since we moved in. And it's nice that our living room is a lot bigger than our last house. We're able to do all those things all together in one room.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Hey.
Hello.
I'm very anxious to hear what you came up with, all the ideas you've had for this room. You've been in there long enough.
Yeah, well, sit down and buckle up. I've been working on the list. It's pretty intense.
Okay, I remember when we first came in here, started looking about some of the ideas, this was a big question, whether the fireplace stays or goes. I'm not sure I've ever actually torn out a fireplace.
I know. Well, I love the mantle, but it's not an actual functioning fireplace. I mean, I get it. Fireplaces are pretty. It gives you a great place to hang your stockings at Christmas, but it doesn't have a chimney. They're not real logs.
Yeah.
I just kind of want to be practical about it and eliminate the fakeness. And that's a perfect place to put like a media console, a piece of furniture, and hide some more kids' toys and lower the TV to make it more of a good viewing height.
Yeah.
I think it needs to go.
Well, one question will be that hearth. Hopefully, if we tear that up, there's usable hardwood. What else do you have in mind?
Well, I want to do some kind of wood ceiling, like not fully wood, but wood accent up there, but I don't want to take away much height. I love to do things with ceilings. Some people call it the fifth wall, so being able to do something fun and decorative that makes you look up when you walk into a room, it's just a fun way to add some character.
For me, it's removing the carpet, and it'd be good to get that out of here, especially seeing the extra decorations that the kids provided over there. So we've seen what our kids can do to carpet, and it's not great.
Well, hopefully, there's hardwood throughout here. What else? What's your else?
I really want built-ins. Nice bookcases on either side of the window. One of the things we want to accomplish with the built-ins is a place for all of Brandon's books that he refuses to get rid of. Good thing I love you. But also we're going to have cabinet doors to hide the kids' toys.
So a few days later, we get to work. You know, over the years, I have moved a lot of furniture, and still, it is not my favorite thing. I thought you told me all this was going to be gone when I showed up here this morning.
Oh boy.
Huh?
Yeah.
Moving furniture. This is the pits.
I'll show you the pits.
No, please don't. That's what it's like to work at our house. Chelsea needs a break every 5 minutes.
Union break.
You know you could have helped us with the couch. Or at least hide if you're going to sit down. Don't sit down in front. Hide so we think you're doing
I
something.
was just doing that to mess with y'all. One last look, Dad.
Whoa.
That's DIY at its finest, I'm telling you.
That's a Boy Scout project right here.
Maybe so.
I would save it for the novelty if nothing else.
Okay, you can.
Yeah. I suspect we just lift it up and it'll come off.
You should know you hung it.
Oh yeah, it pulls out. Remember that? Maybe you can look at it better if we pull it out.
It does seem like it would pivot out.
Just pull it almost straight out. Yep.
Usually you're good at demo, that's your strength, because you're like a bull in a china shop, but there's certain aspects of demo, like preserving the TV, that is better left to the instruction manual.
And pull straight this way.
Okay.
Nope.
Where's my crowbar?
I've only had it for a year, you know.
I need a crowbar.
No, not for the TV.
How about this? I buy you a new TV mount and we get that thing off the wall.
I'm getting ready to cut this sheet of plywood down to size. I'm going to be using my sawhorses. But if you just lay the plywood across the horses, it has a tendency to sag in the middle, so you're not going to get a really accurate cut, and it can also pinch the saw blade, which will make the saw kick back at you, so you definitely want to avoid that. So what I did here, you'll notice I cut 2 notches into each sawhorse. And I'm going to use these 2x4s as supports. The notches are about 1.5 inches wide, about 1.5 inches deep, just the right size to accept the 2x4s. Just set them in place. You don't have to screw them in or anything. They lock right in, really sturdy and steady. You don't have to worry about them sliding out of the way. And now when you lay your plywood across it, the whole sheet, the 4x8 sheet, is completely supported across its entire length and width, so you can make nice, safe cuts accurately.
Simple Solutions is brought to you by Type Bond, the pro's advantage.
Coming up, look at the space.
Oh, I'm so intrigued.
We moved everything out of Chelsea's living room to renovate it, and now it's time to start the demolition.
All right, we got this wide open space to work with now, so you know all of the crown molding's got to come down. I think that would be
I
a
hate
perfect
that.
job for you two.
Yeah, we're planning on doing the specialty ceiling in the living room, but first we have to remove the crown molding so that the wood we're using on the ceiling doesn't butt up to the crown molding. That just wouldn't look right.
And then I'll tackle the mantle.
Okay, but be careful, because I might sell that mantle on
I'm
Facebook.
sure you will. I'm sure you will.
When you have something like a fireplace mantle that's layer upon layer of wood, usually the nails, you can't even get to them unless you cut them off in the back. That makes it a lot easier to take off the whole fireplace as one unit.
Get your eBay ad going.
Should I renovate my closet? Make it a little bigger?
Heck yeah, I would take every bit of that closet. Look at the space.
That's my master closet. Well,
I would
my
take every bit of it.
Oh, I'm so intrigued.
Or make it a safe room. I could see all 5 of y'all getting in there.
What if we cut the plaster back and made a little alcove for the TV to hang in?
No,
Not today.
no, no. Alcoves are out, babe.
I knew you were going to say that. Originally, I was thinking this could be a fun little hideout for the kids, but now I'm thinking maybe it could be a hideout for Mommy.
Once I remove the bricks from Chelsea's hideout, I can pry up the tile from the hearth. And we're ready to pull up that stained carpet.
I'm so relieved that the hardwood in the living room is in great shape. It just makes the space look so much more finished.
All right, you ready to cut it?
Cut a rug.
Roll her up.
Oh!
You know, after removing the carpet and seeing the hardwood, makes you wonder, why would they put carpet down there anyway?
Everybody wants a change, I guess.
It looks nice.
I know. Well, I like that the carpet preserved the hardwood, and I'm glad that there weren't any patches like we
Oh,
thought
yeah.
might have been underneath the
Yeah,
carpet.
it could have been a disaster.
Hey, we got a lot of work out of Brandon yesterday.
Yeah, he's a hard worker, but he's ready for his real job today.
I'll bet he is. Okay, so we want to fill in the fireplace. Do you want to cut or do you want to nail?
Definitely cut.
Okay, well, I already made the measurements. I got a little prep to do. Knock it out.
Okay.
While Chelsea cuts the studs we need, I'm sealing the gaps between the old subfloor boards.
All right, I hope you measured once. I mean twice.
It's always a challenge to take something like drywall that's very consistent in thickness and try to patch a hole in a plaster wall that's not consistent at all. Then you have the challenge of a smooth surface and a rough surface. This might take a little drywall compound.
All right, let me get the measurement for this drywall. I will
Okay.
get it cut, and then we can go ahead and get it installed, and I can get a coat of joint compound on it.
Okay, well, I do want to run some cables for the TV while the cavity's open.
Okay, all right.
This is the perfect opportunity to hide all of the cords that I need to power our TV and electronic devices. So I'm going to drill a few holes and route the cables before we put the drywall piece in place. Do you miss the fireplace, Gus?
What?
Do you wish we still had a fireplace?
Yeah.
Yeah?
But your building line.
No.
Now, on to those bookcases. So I was looking at this, and unfortunately, it is around 11 1/4. So
Okay.
put the little face piece on the bookcase. We'll need to
think
rip
so.
those 1x12s down.
Yeah.
So that's what we need to do. I have all the measurements for that. Also, you'll have to nub that off with an oscillating saw.
Yeah,
On
just
both sides,
nice and
just
straight.
that window sill
Yeah,
like
okay.
that. We can pretty much cut the main part of this out, build it, and start getting it in shape.
It's gonna look good. We're finally underway on building the bookshelves. The first step is to cut the material to size so that we can assemble it inside in the air conditioning.
You know, whether you live in a new home or you've lived in your house for decades, having a sticking door is a pretty common problem. Because what happens is the wood swells and it'll start causing the door to catch on the jamb. Well, you could take the door off the hinges and use sandpaper or a hand planer to sand that down. It's a little time consuming and it can get a little exhausting, or you can use this. Now, Dan, what you got for us?
Okay, Ryobi has a door trimmer to solve the problem you're speaking of. Hooks up to your drill very quickly.
All right, and it's ready to go.
It's ready to go.
Okay, now take a look in here. Once you pull the trigger, you can see this little bit. That does all the work for you, and it shaves it up to a 32nd of an inch, so you're not taking off more than you need to. Now, this is adjustable depending upon the thickness of your door, but once, let's just say we have a problem here, you just clip it into place, pull the trigger, go right over it. So sticking door no more, this is a great solution.
This Best New Product segment is brought to you by the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
After the break, Chelsea's full of surprises. What I was going to do today. So I get the day off? We're renovating Chelsea's living room, and we're about to tackle the biggest change, the built-in bookcases.
You know you're a grown-up when you're excited about adding storage to your family room.
Laying them out side by side, using the framing square to make sure one side's exactly like the other side is one way to make sure it turns out great.
Huh, kind of looks like a bookcase. So far, so good. Yeah, if you're in charge of the gluing, we're gonna need another rag. This is like you're building a toy chest for your grandkids. Because it's for their toys. Aww. Right on cue, Gus.
You know, sometimes the kids can kind of get in the way of progress, but when they pause things a little bit for a little kiss on the cheek, hey, I can take that anytime.
That's magic. That's magic. Excellent. Whoa, thank you. Here's what you do. You hold this, watch.
I noticed you were just a little bit nervous when I was handing the glue bottle over to Mary Helen.
Yes, yeah.
Go right on down to the end.
You should not be teaching anyone how to glue. Since you missed the lesson in kindergarten where you learned that a little dab will do ya, and Mary Helen hasn't gone to kindergarten yet, I have to step in and teach her that just a little bit of glue will do ya.
I always heard
Too much glue.
more is better.
No.
Back to kindergarten I go.
Yep.
Helen, please can you play Candyland?
Gus is very determined to play Candyland, but Mary Helen is very happy being Mommy's little helper right now.
Okay, I gotta have a talk before.
Mary Helen to the rescue on this situation.
I helped Miss Helen. Mommy said Miss Helen's gonna play Candy.
What a,
After we're done with this.
well, what a good deal. That way y'all both get to do what you want. I found this wallpaper and thought it would be a cool little pop of color on the back of the bookshelves, and I know it'll be so much easier to paint these bookcases while they're laying flat on the ground, so I'm working so hard to get everything prepped and ready so I can paint them before Dad comes over.
Hey, you ready for another day of adventure here?
Oh yeah, always an adventure. We worked late last night.
Whoa, how long have I been gone? Where did that come from?
Well, that's the one you and I built, and then I built that one.
Well, that's what I was going to do today.
I know, well.
So I get the day off?
No, we got plenty of work to do,
Hey,
you
good
know
job.
that? Thank
Good
you.
job, nice color.
We built this cabinet to be tight in this space. Might be a little too tight for my comfort.
Well, that felt good when it's finally slipped into place.
Squeeze right in there. There we go.
Now we're ready to tackle that ceiling.
If we went with about a 46-inch square, we can square here and then go
Yeah,
off of it
I
like
like
we
that.
have here.
I
that
like
work?
that. Yeah, I didn't want it to be too small. It seems like it would feel cluttered.
It would.
The first step is attaching a 1x4 around the perimeter of the room so we can lay out chalk lines across the center of the space for the 1x4 grid.
Okay, give me this tape, give me this chalk box.
You got it?
Everybody knows the proper place for a chalk box when you're working on a ceiling is on top of the fan blade.
Yeah.
And that way, if you're across the room and you need it, you flip the switch on and it comes flying out and you grab it. So it's so logical.
Reel it in. Reel it. Whoa, you got you a big one.
The beauty of a ceiling like this is nice parallel lines and nice right angles. If you get off of that at all, it'll show. Now you see why that crown molding is so important.
Yeah, it really ties it together.
And it's cool that we were able to reuse every single bit of it that you and Brandon took down.
That's the way we planned it.
Saving money.
I've been trying to find a nice piece of art, and I just couldn't find anything that I liked, and I thought, this is a family room, so the kids should get involved in creating the art that's gonna hang on the wall. It might be a little stressful to have 3 young kids with a paintbrush, and it maybe not quite exactly the way I envisioned it looking, but I think they'll have a lot of pride in seeing their art hanging on the wall. Now I'm ready to get a fresh coat of paint on the walls and get our living room put back together.
Chelsea's living room had 2 things going for it when we started: size and plenty of natural light. Beyond that, it was pretty dated. The curtains blocked some of the daylight, and while the mantel for the faux fireplace was attractive, not much else about it was, besides the fact that it didn't work. Then there was the carpet and wall color that combined to create neutral nausea. In a word, it was bland. But now, the room is lighter, brighter, and much more interesting. The new wall color reflects all that natural light, and the hardwood floors we uncovered add tons of character to the room. Speaking of character, the cool custom ceiling treatment adds loads of it to the space. And the built-in bookcases create functional storage and a warm, homey feeling that's hard to beat.
I love that our family room finally matches our style. We have a fun decorative accent on the ceiling that brings your eye up when you walk into the room. We have the bookcases on either side of the window that really highlight how big the window is, plus a fun little pop of color with our colored trim, new sofas. We are ready to have so much fun and make so many memories in this room. I really wanted to renovate our family room first when we moved into this house, but I'm glad we waited. That way we could really see how we use the space and we could fine-tune exactly the way we wanted it to function for our family for many years to come.
Well, we're definitely making a lot of progress on Chelsea's Ranch revival. You know, after living here for almost a year, she knew exactly what she wanted to do to the living room to make it more up to date and a lot more functional for her family. And that may be the case at your home. You might be sitting in a room right now thinking about the things that you would like to do. Make your plan, get all your materials together, and go at it. You'll be glad you did. Hey, thanks so much for joining me and Chelsea here on today's Homeowner. We'll see you next week.
That don't impress me much.
Oh, yeah.
I might be embarrassing her, but that's also my job as her mom.
Gotcha. I got you.
No, you didn't.